Ever wonder what happens when curiosity, no, maybe goes too far, when it overrides caution, especially around those ancient secrets, forbidden places?
Places that seem to actively beckon you, even warn you off.
Exactly. Today, we're diving into something like that. We're not just telling a story, we're sort of dissecting the very fabric of belief and the chilling consequences when warnings get ignored. We've got this really singular set of source materials for this deep dive.
Yeah.
A collection of accounts, different pieces that weave together this one spine-tingling narrative. It's about a ritual, what happened, and the kind of fallout that goes way beyond just the physical. So our mission today is to unpack all that, the events, the motivations behind them, and really dig into the implications in this lore. Pull out the key insights. Let's get started.
Yeah, and what these sources really bring out, I think, is this powerful tension
Yeah.
between skepticism, just not believing, and actual belief. It's not just about pushing those boundaries. It's about what happens when they get completely shattered. This deep dive forces us, and maybe you listening, to ask, are some stories? Are they more than just tales?
Are they warnings?
Exactly. Warnings we ignore at our own peril. And what can we learn from that human tendency to challenge them anyway?
So our journey, according to these sources, it centers on this guy, Daniel. Now, picture this, a thrill seeker, right? An urban explorer, top-tier stuff.
Okay.
But here's the key psychological bit from the sources. He was a staunch non-believer, like zero belief in anything supernatural.
That's crucial.
Totally. His whole thing was this global quest, searching relentlessly for places that were untouched, forbidden, genuinely dangerous.
Yeah.
He wanted authenticity, sure, but maybe also proof, maybe some notoriety too.
The explorer's drive, the need to document the unknown or debunk it.
Yeah, exactly. So the stage for this specific story is set in India. The sources detail how Daniel heard these whispers. Stories about an abandoned temple deep in the forests of Madhya Pradesh. And the locals, they weren't just hesitant, they were like genuinely terrified of this place.
Not just keep out signs then. Real fear.
Real fear. Their accounts said it was cursed, housed a cult ages ago, dedicated to Mahakali. And here's where the sources get really specific. Their worship of Mahakali was, quote, not with devotion, but with blood.
Wow. Okay, that paints a picture immediately. Very different from typical devotion.
Right. The sheer weight of those words from the villagers, it sets the tone right away.
And Daniel's reaction to all this, it's fascinating psychologically. The sources show his curiosity didn't just peak, it actually escalated because of the fear he saw.
The warnings backfired.
Completely. It's almost a classic pattern you see sometimes with folklore or sacred sites. The sources aren't just telling a story, they're showing that psychological hook. Daniel expected superstition, right?
Yeah.
So that's all he saw, which ironically just made him dig his heels in. The more people frantically said stay away, the more he saw it as like an invitation.
An invitation to debunk it.
Yeah, precisely. To expose what he assumed was just local myth. One villager, the sources say, gave him this chilling legend, almost like a final plea. Whoever dares to perform the ritual of Mahakali in that temple will be torn apart.
Okay.
Not by human hands, but by the goddess herself.
Heavy stuff. And Daniel, what did he do?
He laughed. The sources are explicit. Laughed it off.
Just another ghost story.
Yep, just another ghost story for his collection. But this is where the sources keep hammering home this point. Some rituals aren't just stories, they're warnings.
He was about to find out the difference hard way. It makes you think, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When do you, listening right now, brush off a warning as just a story?
It's a good question.
So, okay, after hearing all this, Daniel heads out. Starts this really tough hike. The sources paint a picture of him pushing for hours through really thick jungle.
The kind that just swallows you up.
Exactly. Swallows light, sound, makes you feel totally isolated. The material really emphasizes the physical struggle, just shows how determined he was.
He wasn't easily deterred, clearly.
Not at all. And then he finds it. The temple.
Ah.
The sources describe it as crumbling black stone, just covered in vines, standing there like a wound in the earth.
Wow, a wound in the earth. That's powerful imagery.
Isn't it? Less like a building, more like a scar. A place where something went profoundly wrong and just stained the landscape.
Okay.
And the doorway, it was carved with skulls, serpents, and this woman, wild hair, holding weapons in multiple arms.
Mahakali.
No question. The sources explicitly identify her.
Yeah.
The goddess of destruction.
Yeah.
Right there at the entrance.
And finding that It's less about the building itself and more about the feeling it gives off, right? That description, wound in the earth, it just sets this immediate sense of dread.
Total.
It's like a threshold. Anthropologically speaking, these liminal spaces are often tied to transformation, but also, serious risk.
Right. What was it like inside, according to the accounts?
Suffocating. The air was heavy, apparently. Thick with the stench of burnt incense and something rotten. Yeah. Suggests more than just decay. Like a lingering presence, maybe. A history of something really unsettling. And the walls had these strange symbols painted in red.
Red paint, or...
The sources don't specify, but given the context. And in the center, a stone altar stained black from years of offerings. So this wasn't just a ruin, it felt used, maybe recently.
Okay, that's creepy.
And for listeners maybe not as familiar, Mahakali.
Right.
She's complex in Hinduism. Fierce compassion, liberation, sure. But her role as the destroyer is incredibly potent.
And the source is mentioning worship with blood.
Right. That signals a major departure from standard devotional practice. It points towards certain, let's say, esoteric or tantric interpretations, focuses on raw power, sacrifice. Daniel, being a non-believer, likely had zero context for this. He was stepping into a spiritual minefield completely blind.
Totally unprepared. And then you find something else, right? Inside.
Yes. The critical discovery. Beside that stained altar, wrapped in some old cloth, he finds this old manuscript.
Okay.
And the title, chillingly clear, The Ritual of Mahakali.
Oh, wow. So the actual instructions.
Seems like it. And here's a really interesting detail the sources mention. It was written in Sanskrit, okay, but it also had these scribbled notes in English in the margins.
English notes.
Yeah.
So.
Someone else.
Exactly. Suggests Daniel wasn't the first curious outsider, maybe foolhardy one, to stumble upon this place? Or try to figure out its secrets?
A previous explorer, or maybe a cultist who spoke English.
Could be either. Someone left a trail, and Daniel apparently was eager to follow it. Makes you wonder, though, what happened to that person?
Good question. So what did this ritual manuscript actually say? What were the instructions?
Horrifyingly specific, according to the sources, not vague at all. To summon Mahakali herself, it said, draw the circle of blood, chant her name 13 times, and offer a piece of your flesh.
Offer flesh, your own flesh.
That's what it says. It's not about finding peace or enlightenment, is it? It's raw, visceral, a direct invocation, maybe even a challenge to her destructive aspect. Okay, most people, finding that, they'd be out of there so fast, manuscript dropped, running for the hills.
You'd think. But Daniel, remember, the staunch non-believer, driven by this need for proof, something to record, something that would make him famous.
Right, the camera.
Exactly. His motivation, the source's stress, wasn't fear at all. It was this almost arrogant certainty that he was about to debunk a myth and get it all on tape.
So he chose to go through with it.
He did, not out of bravery maybe, but out of this. Misguided belief in his own intellectual superiority over local superstition. He valued the recording over his own safety.
No.
And it's this fascinating human paradox, right, that the sources lay out. Despite all the warnings, despite how grotesque the ritual sounds, his need for empirical proof just overrides everything else.
Like a collision between modern skepticism and something ancient, primal.
Exactly. He saw it as an experiment. The offering was just a prop in his mind. He had no framework, zero, to understand the spiritual weight of what he was about to do. Assumed it was just theater.
So he does it. He actually performs the ritual.
He takes action. The sources are graphic. He cuts his palm with his knife, smears his blood on the floor, drawing that circle, just like the manuscript said.
Oh, man.
And then he starts the chant. The accounts are specific. Mahakali, Mahakali, Mahakali. Can you imagine that sound echoing in that dark, heavy space? A sound he probably expected to just fade away.
It didn't just fade away, did it?
No. It seems the temple wasn't empty. As he chanted, the sources describe these supernatural events escalating with terrifying precision.
Like what?
By the 7th chant, the air grew discernibly colder, like a measurable physical shift.
Okay, creepy.
By the 9th chant, the walls seemed to pulse like living skin.
Ugh, no. Living skin.
That's the description. Grotesque, biological, like the temple itself was waking up.
This is intense.
And then on the 13th chant, the final one, the moment of completion, everything just went silent, utterly, unnervingly silent.
Not a peaceful silence.
No. The sources imply it was that heavy, waiting kind of silence, intense anticipation. What strikes you most listening to that buildup, that escalating dread?
Just the The inevitability of it, maybe. He walked right into it. Okay, so the silence, it didn't last, I'm guessing.
Not long. Suddenly, his flashlight flickers, dies, plunges him into total suffocating darkness.
Oh, great.
And then he hears it. Heavy breathing, not his own.
Nope, absolutely not.
Imagine that, alone, pitch black temple, and you hear that. He fumbles for his camera, switches on the night vision, and what he sees. According to the sources, it was just beyond comprehension.
What did he see?
A figure. Emerging from the shadows, the sources describe her with this terrifying, visceral clarity. Black skin, wild hair, glowing red eyes, and a necklace of skulls.
Oh my God.
Her tongue dripped blood, her many arms reached for him, each holding a weapon.
It was her, Mahakali.
It was Mahakali. The sources are chillingly clear. Not the goddess of devotion, but the destroyer, the devourer.
Seeing that, the legend he laughed at, made real, manifested right there.
The terror must have been absolute. The sources insist this wasn't a trick of the light, not some psychological break. It was real,
Right.
objectively there.
So what did he do? Did he try to fight, run?
His disbelief just shattered instantly. The sources say he dropped the camera and ran, frantically. But the temple, it wasn't letting him go. It seemed to warp around him like it was alive, malevolent.
Warped? How?
No matter which way he ran, which exit he aimed for, he kept ending up back in the same chamber, facing the same altar,
Oh no.
and the same goddess, trapped like a horrifying loop, prisoner of his own ritual.
He couldn't escape the consequences.
Exactly, which raises that question from the sources, doesn't it? When does a place become more than just stone? When does it become this active, malevolent force responding to a summons? The narrative leaves no room for doubt here.
And there was something else, wasn't there? Something he missed.
Ah, yes. The crucial, terrible detail, remember the manuscript?
Yeah.
He'd read the instructions for the summoning very carefully, but apparently he didn't read the very last line.
What did it say?
The critical, unread line. The one who calls her cannot leave without an offering,
Oh,
and the offering must be life.
his life.
His life. The price for his proof. It was always going to be him. Such a powerful nugget in there about the cost of forbidden knowledge, isn't it? Especially for the arrogant.
Wow. So,
Oh,
they found him.
eventually.
They found Daniel 3 days later. Or, as the sources grimly put it, what was left of him?
Oh, God.
His body was torn apart, face frozen in terror, chest marked with deep claw wounds.
Just like the villager warned, torn apart by the goddess.
A gruesome, undeniable fulfillment of that legend he dismissed. A visceral reminder that some ancient beliefs, some forces, they carry a power that just transcends our modern logic.
And
Can manifest physically.
Yeah.
Devastatingly, the sources are unambiguous about the cause.
And the camera. He dropped it, you said. What happened to the camera?
Recovered. The authorities reportedly destroyed it, tried to erase the whole thing.
There's always a but in these stories. Whispers persist in the source material that some of the footage survived.
No way.
And here's the final detail that just sent nausea. It sends a shiver down your spine. Those who supposedly watched it, they claim to hear her voice calling their name from the screen.
Calling their name. Oh, that's awful.
Awful, like the horror didn't end with Daniel. Like it had just found a new way to spread. A contagion of terror looking for its next victim.
Wow, okay.
This whole narrative we've just walked through from the sources, it's incredibly intense, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
When you think about Daniel's choices, that relentless skepticism, the thirst for proof, the sheer audacity of challenging something so feared, what really stands out to you listening about why he did it and the horrifying result, it makes you think about your own lines, right? Between belief and disbelief.
It really does. And it brings us right back to where we started this deep dive, doesn't it? That question. Is a forbidden ritual just a story? Folklore?
Or something more.
Or, like our sources hammer home, is it a warning? A serious warning you're really not meant to ignore? Daniel found out, way too late, that some stories carry this immense weight. They demand respect, maybe even fear.
So, final thought then. In this world just overflowing with information, endless skepticism, how do we tell the difference?
Yeah.
Between just folklore, local color,
Yeah.
and a genuine potent warning?
Yeah.
What ancient beliefs, what famkatni bits of wisdom might still hold some kind of power we haven't grasped, or worse, that we've just dismissed? Maybe there are still shadows out there, watching, waiting for someone else to dare open the wrong door.